So, how did you get on with that questionnaire? Did you enjoy discovering some of those limiting beliefs, some of those irrational beliefs that are inside you? Maybe it made you shake in your boots a little bit. Maybe it made you open your mind and realise just how you've been holding yourself back. The truth is with these questionnaires, as you'll find with the next couple as well, is that over the next few days, over the next week, maybe the next even couple of weeks, your mind will start to work on some of those questions and you'll start to get some different answers. It's worth going through the questionnaire again in a week or a fortnight's time maybe. And that's useful for you as a practitioner as well, because when your clients come back to you, it's worth going through their answers from the previous episode, if you like, from the previous session with their answers of that questionnaire, just to see if their mind's worked on them anymore and they've changed some of the answers or altered some of them a little bit. Because your mind tends to go to work on these. Remember what I said, that your mind is always answering questions, it has to. Well, when you ask it those questions, it starts to ruminate on them, it starts to think about them, and it'll take them forwards. So that might just happen to you about the last questionnaire, and particularly this video and the next video as well, where we have questionnaires, it might just happen as well. So it's always worth going back through them. So in this particular video, we're going to look at starting to challenge beliefs. In the next video, we're going to look at something called Socratic questioning, but I'll explain that more in the next video. For now, we've got another questionnaire to go through. It's 10 questions long. So again, get yourself a nice clean page ready to go and answer these questions as we go along. Just as in the last video and in the other questionnaires we've done, I honestly ask you to pause the video after each question and answer the question honestly as you possibly can. We might just make a change in your life while you're learning and growing through the course into helping and changing others' lives as well. Okay, so let's get started, shall we? The first question, and we're talking about that limiting belief, that irrational belief that we probably discovered or possibly discovered in the last video, remember. So the first question is, what evidence supports this belief being true? So this might take a few moments to answer because you need to look at what evidence you've got that supports this belief being true. And I'm sure you'll have quite a bit of it. You don't have to go into every single detail, but there'll be plenty of evidence for you to support this belief being true. Just write some of those down. Now that might seem counterintuitive. We're trying to break them down, Graham. I can hear you shouting at the screen. But we need to get the process started. So please, just consider what evidence supports this belief being true. And I'm moving on to question number 2. Again, I'm presuming you're pausing the button, you're pausing the video and you're answering the questions. I'm moving on to question number 2. What evidence from your life goes against this belief being true? It's important to know the balance, isn't there? To know when you've got truth about this being true, but also when you've got truth about it not being true, when there's evidence that doesn't support it. So question number 2 again, what evidence from your life goes against this belief being true? Again, take the time to pause the video. This might take some time to really go back through your mind and really realise that there are times in your life when this isn't true. I'm going to move on to question number 3. Is this belief true 100% of the time for you? And that's an important question, isn't it? Because if it's a belief, then it should be present and should be true 100% of the time. Because it's a belief that that's how life is. But if it's not 100% true, we can start to break it down. So, is this belief true 100% of the time for you? And question number 4. Estimate what percentage of your life this belief has been true for and what percentage it's not been true for. So just take a percentage, just an idea. It doesn't have to be exactly worked out. We're just talking, is it 50-50? Is it 60-40, 75-25? Take a guess at what percentage of your life this belief has been true for and what percentage it hasn't been true for. And again, we're just starting to break that down, because if it's not true for 100% of the time, then we're starting to break it down, because it can't be a belief about how that's how life is, because clearly life isn't that way. And when you're honest with yourself, as much as you focus on that belief and you see it more than anything else, when you're honest with yourself, I bet that percentage isn't quite as high as you think it is for that being true. So take the time to be honest with yourself. And we'll move on to question 5. Is this belief therefore true for all of your life? Is this belief therefore true for all of your life? That's a simple yes or no answer, isn't it? And we know the truth to that already, don't we? I'm going to move on to question number 6. Does this limiting belief take into account both negative and positive things that have happened in your life? Again, it's a simple yes or no answer. And again, we know the answer, we know the truth, don't we? So, does this limiting belief take into account both negative and positive things that have happened in your life? Question number 7. Has this belief worked for you or against you in your life? Or maybe a bit of both? So let me ask that again. Has this belief worked for you or against you in life? Or maybe a bit of both? And a belief should always work for us. If we believe something to be true, if we believe that's how life is, it should work for us, shouldn't it? So if there's any point in your life that this belief isn't working for you, then surely it's not a belief to hold on to, is it? Just consider that for a moment, that where you want to be in life could just be being held back by this belief. Is that really working for you in any way, shape or form? Okay, question number 8. Did you choose this belief, or was it influenced by family or friends or teachers when you were younger? Did you choose this belief, or was it influenced by others, family, friends, teachers when you were younger? Just consider back to where this belief came from. And was it just you that created this belief in your mind, or was it influenced by others? And question number 9. Was this a choice that you made at some point, that now you have considered it no longer serves you? So question number 9 again. Was this a choice you made at some point, that now you've considered it no longer serves you? That's quite a deep question, but it should also be quite an easy question to answer now that you've got the answers to the other questions. Does this serve you any longer? Does this belief serve you any longer? And then question 10, the final question. Is this a belief you want to hold, or is it time to change it? Is this belief something that you want to continue to hold on to? The one that's holding you back, the one that's not true all of your life? Or is it time to change it? Once you make that decision consciously, then you have the opportunity to change it every time that belief shows up. And it will. Every time that you go to do something, but this belief says, no, you're not good enough to do that. Or you haven't got enough to do that. Or you're not enough to do that in some way. Then you can start to recognize it and start to change it consciously. Not just unconsciously, but consciously too. So that brings us to the end of this set of questions. You'll find this questionnaire and the Socratic questionnaire on an additional resource document attached to the videos. They're all on the same document so that you can use them for yourself and of course use them for your clients. So I'll be waiting for you in the next video to go through the Socratic question. Come on, let's keep going. Let's keep breaking those limiting beliefs down, shall we? Follow me across to the next video.